challenge today. They won here by 3-1, and there was to be no happy ending for Steven Gerrard and his final outing here at Anfield. An extraordinary career, 16 years, and it has come to an end here at his spiritual home. But every single person, I reckon, has stayed exactly where they are because they want to say goodbye properly to a man who served them so well, a man who came from the Kop. And now we'll get to say goodbye and thank you for their support as they return the favour to him. We have here a team of Steven Gerrards. Glenn Johnson, incidentally, saying goodbye, we think, today to Liverpool. And he might not be the only one. Will Fabio Brini be here next season?
That's a nice touch, all the players with the Steven Gerrard shirt on.
A team of Steven Gerrards.
Nice touch.
John Flanagan, one of the remaining Scousers here, Jamie, as well.
Yeah, well, he'll have to carry the baton for the local lads next season. I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 coming through from the academy over the next 12, 18 months. But the people in here, they want to see, you know, their own on the pitch. It's synonymous with the club over the last 15, 20 years. You think of Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman as well, and you know, myself, Stevie, different players, and you know, Liverpool crowd want to see one or two of their own. And as I said, the top man's gone now, but hopefully Flanagan, who's been out all season, can, as I said, carry on the baton.
And he will hear this from deep inside the bowels of Anfield, won't he, Jamie? What must he be feeling right now?
Very emotional. It's just, football doesn't do sentimental, does it? If it did, he'd have won the title last year. He'd be playing the FA Cup next week and he'd have won today. Unfortunately, it's not like that. But today's not going to define his career. He's had the most incredible career that you'd only dream of. I mean, it won the great players in Premier League history, and I'm sure he's going to get a great ovation when he comes out now with his family.
And I'm sure his daughter doesn't care whether he won today or not, does she? I say his daughter doesn't care whether he's won today or not.
Oh no, they're 3 girls. We know them well. Friends with our kids, but no, they don't care too much of football. Just as long as their dad's all right, and he's done all right, hasn't he?
Well, he certainly has. He's won pretty much everything. That one big regret that he talked about this week was that elusive Premier League title.
They're not all his kids, I can assure you. He hasn't got that many.
He hasn't been that busy.
No, he's been concentrating on his football for 15 years.
Yeah, just that Premier League title eluding him, but he won the FA Cup, the League Cup, Champions League, UEFA Cup, and he scored in all those big finals as well, the only Englishman to do so. 709 appearances in total for Liverpool. He wasn't able to add to that goal tally today, but he's led this club so many times as well. 471 games, 472 now even as captain. It's just a shame that he wasn't able to seal it with a league title, Jamie. Maybe next year if he pops back on loan.
I can't quite see that now. I think it's a celebration today. I think you have to congratulate Crystal Palace. It's been difficult because it's been a Steven Gerrard show, but Palace were wonderful today. They played really well. They made it difficult for him, and you have to congratulate them on a really good performance. They just didn't read that script, did they? I thought the script was given to them in the dressing room before the game, Cara, but they just didn't seem to read it, did they?
Well, certainly Punching and Balassi, now those two would walk into this Liverpool team, no doubt. Now, we should give Palace a little mention as Stevie comes out. They battered Liverpool in the first one, and they've done the same again.
Yeah, the final touch of the sign. His moment is nigh. The fans are waiting patiently. And let's just enjoy what we're about to see and hear at Anfield, a tribute to an absolute legend.
To whom nothing seems impossible. Luckily, that man graced the number 8 shirt here at Anfield. Our inspirational captain rose from the Kirby Academy under the graduation of Steve Highway, Hughie Macaulay and Dave Shannon to become one of the most complete footballers in world football. This man simply had it all. The growing influence in the treble season, Olympiacos, the Gerrard final against West Ham in 2006, and the big one, the night of our lives in 2005. Words don't do justice to what this guy means to us. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, all good things come to an end, but his legacy at this great club lives on each and every day, an inspiration to all the youngsters hoping to follow in his great footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, your captain, Steven Gerrard. course, as first manager, Gerrard Houllier, I know it's the point that you've been dreading for a while. How did it feel to play your last game, potentially here at Anfield?
Yeah, it felt very strange. As you say, I've been dreading this moment, and the reason being is because I'm going to miss it so much. I've loved every minute of it, and I'm absolutely devastated I'm never going to play in front of these supporters again.
So many fantastic moments here at Anfield. If you had to pick one of those games to relive again here in this fantastic arena, what would it be?
I think it's very difficult to pick one, but I think the very first time I ran out, thanks to this man here to my left, is a moment I'll never forget. You know, the first time you ever play for Liverpool Football Club is a dream come true. Everything else after that was a bonus for me. So the very first time I played for Liverpool was an absolute dream.
You've spoken this week about the future, and obviously you're off to a fantastic adventure now that the family will enjoy, but you've spoken about the potential of coming back here one day. What about the future of this club? Are you optimistic that it's in the right place and we can move on without you?
If you go on today's performance, every chance. Listen, the club's in good hands. We've got two fantastic owners. We've got Ian underneath that, and then we've got a fantastic manager in Brendan. And as you can see, there's unbelievable potential in the squad. You know, I'm sure that there's going to be some new signings in the coming weeks, but you know, I just look at the players in front of me who've shared the dressing room with for many, many years. I absolutely love them to death, and I wish them every success in the future.
Just one final question to Steven Gerrard, and this is going to be the hardest of the lot, I'm sure. It's your chance to say to the Liverpool fans what you want to say at the end.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone at the club who's helped me over the last 17 years from top to bottom. There's no order. There's too many people to name. I'd like to thank all my teammates today in the squad, even the players that never got on. All the ex-players that I've played with over the years, you know, they've made me the player I am today. But I have to say my last thank you to the most important people at any football club, but these supporters stand out more than any of them. I've experienced... Just before I go, before the tears come, as I say, I've played in front of most supporters around the world, but let me tell you, you're the best. And thank you very much. All the best.
So there you have it. The last emotional words of Steven Gerrard to his adoring public. And now he'll take his time to walk around the ground and say goodbye to as many people as he possibly can. They want their final glimpse of their hero, their final chance to say goodbye. And his first port of call is the cup, and no surprise there. These people love him, Jamie, don't they?
And rightly so. You can hear the words he spoke then, he loves them, and that's a bond that'll never be broken, and that's why he's thought of so well, not just as a local player, but also not just because he's such a fantastic player. He's had opportunities to move on when this club's had hard times, and he's stuck there. He's basically been the fan on the pitch. That's what he's been. That's everybody in Liverpool, every kid who grows up wants to be Steven Gerrard.
Do you think it started to sink in for the fans, just what they're losing here, Jamie?
A little bit. You know, these are great scenes, though. I mean, even the Crystal Palace fans all stayed to say goodbye as well. I think it's got to sink in, and it's going to be difficult for him to accept that these are great moments.
How was it for you?
Yeah, it was a strange day. I think we just found it hard getting going. I think I like to blame myself for today. I took all the attention off the players and we just couldn't get going.
He's done that for 15 years.
It seemed like a message came through after about 65 minutes. Handbrake off, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I played the home role for the first part of the game, but credit to Crystal Palace, they stifled all of us, and towards the end, we tried to, we gambled and went for it, and unfortunately we got caught again, and credit to Crystal Palace, they're the better team today.
What does all this mean to you? What do these people mean to you, Stephen?
I've said it all week, you know, they're the most important people. They've backed me for 17 years, so what can I say? I ran out of words to describe them.
Have you dealt with this already? Has it sunk in what's happening to you?
I've been preparing for it all week. I'll probably be on the downer tomorrow, but while it's here, I've got to enjoy it, you know.
How difficult is it going to be for you, Stevie? From 16, 17, you've gone into the training ground every day. You've played here on a Saturday. Your life is now going to change. How are you going to adapt to that?
It's not going to be the same. I mean, you know, you two can back me up here. You know, it's incredible to play in front of these fans, and once that's taken away, you know, your life changes, but hopefully I can enjoy my footy for another couple of years and then hopefully come back one day.
A few bevies tonight?
Oh yeah.
Stephen, we know you're coming back. Are you going to be coming back and standing with us talking here? Are you going to be back in a tracksuit on the sidelines, or maybe back on loan playing for this club again?
I don't think I'll come back on loan after today's performance, but no, listen, I think I'm going to have to go away and reflect for a few years and see what's there for me in a couple of years, but hopefully I'll stay involved in the game because, like these two, you know, I've lived it for a long time and I love it.
Quick word with the girls. What do you think of Daddy?
He's tried really hard.
He has tried really hard, hasn't he? Is he going to miss Liverpool, do you think?
Yeah, a lot.
I know he is. Go and say goodbye. Thank you so much. Well done.
Well done, girls.
And a fabulous show of respect, incidentally, because all the Liverpool players, I don't know if you could see, were lined up behind Steven Gerrard there, waiting for him to do his interview with us.
It's going to be hard for them as well. I mean, he's led this club for so long, and you can actually sense it was hard for them as a team today. They were waiting for him to do something because they've got so much respect for him. That life's going to change for everybody at this club, the fans, and you're just hoping one day, and Jamie alluded to earlier on, they've got to try and find the next Steven Gerrard. It's not going to be easy, because I said before the game, people like him don't come along every day of the week. They come along every other generation, if you're lucky. And somehow, they've got to find the next one. When I signed for this club as a 17-year-old, there was McManaman, there was Fowler, then Jamie came into the team, then Steven Gerrard. The homegrown players are what the fans love to see so much. That's why he's getting the ovation that he is. So they're going to have to work extremely hard to try and find the next Steven Gerrard.
To be honest, I don't think you can. I don't think you can replace that. I think Man United are still looking for the next Keane. Arsenal are still looking for the next Vieira. You don't replace that. That doesn't mean you can't go on and be successful and do well. But someone like that's a one-off. You have to maybe strengthen in other areas. But Jamie's right, what you're seeing today, they're still waiting for Steven Gerrard to do something when, at 35 years of age now, he's probably not capable of doing that week in, week out like he was in the past. But other players now are going to step up to the metal. And a couple of those Crystal Palace players wouldn't go amiss, I think, in this Liverpool team.
Nice presentation, a golden boot from a very young fan.
No, the Golden Samba it's called.
Golden Samba.
Oh, I've got one of them.
Tell us its significance.
Well, trainers are a big thing in Liverpool. Liverpool lads love wearing them. And rather than giving a Player of the Year trophy out, they get the Adidas Samba and spray it like a golden boot. So the golden Samba.
Only in Liverpool. But they need a symbol, don't they? Talking about replacing him in terms of personnel on the pitch, these fans have had yourself for 700-odd games, Steven Gerrard for the same length of time. There is going to be a huge vacuum now.
There is, but you have to move on. Listen, I've joined Sky, Stevie's going to LA. You move on, the club has to move on. And some of those players now need to step up to the mantle. And sometimes you find when a big character, a big personality, like Steven moves on, someone else comes to the fore. You know, we don't quite know who that will be. There's very few showing that, if I'm being totally honest at the moment. You see Jordan Henderson, looks like he may be a skipper. Emre Can's coming and done well. But looking at Liverpool today, they're a long way short. And if you're thinking about someone stepping up to the mantle of being the man for Liverpool, I think you might struggle to find one in this squad.
We lost Suarez last year, losing Steven Gerrard. We're going to have the whole Raheem Sterling, is he going to go, is he going to stay all summer? Difficult times, but Liverpool are going to have to work extremely hard in the market, going to have to bring a few players in, not just defensively. We were talking about it earlier on, defensively. They can see a lot of easy goals this side. And as Jamie rightly said, there's a few Palace players that we look at this team thinking, I could play with this Liverpool side at the moment. So there's a big rebuilding job to do.
It's going to cost a lot of money then, by the sounds of it, Jamie.
Well, that doesn't always help you. We spent over 100 in the summer. So, no, listen, I always think when it hasn't been a great season and you reflect on it, probably been disappointing for Liverpool. You're never as far away as sometimes you think when everyone thinks negative. You need so many players. Sometimes one player can spark it. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, we felt the same thing. Suarez comes in, and before you know it, you're almost winning the league title.
Brendan Rodgers has been singled out by Steven Gerrard. He says that he's the right man. He's been very generous, effusive in his praise of him. Do you agree with him?
I do, and I know Steven well enough. I've had conversations. He believes in Brendan Rodgers. He thinks he's going to be a manager here for many years to come, and he wouldn't say it if he didn't think that. It's been really tough for him. People talk about Liverpool underachieving this year. You've only got to look at Barcelona to see how well they've done this year with Luis Suarez. When you lose a player like that, it makes such a difference to the side. You've had Daniel Sturridge for 7 Premier League games this season. Not enough. Balotelli hasn't worked. They need to go and buy a first-class centre-forward. It's not going to be easy because I'm sure everybody else will be looking to do the same thing. But I do believe that Brendan Rodgers is the right man. I like the way they play football. There was periods this season when they went to 3 at the back where they were playing fantastic football. They went on a great run. Once they lost to Man United, all the wheels came off. But there's been so many positives as well this year.
Yeah, I think, Brendan, certainly what happened last year, that was, no one could believe what happened last year. Sometimes I think with managers, it'd have been better having this season last season than the other way around, because you want to feel like you're always going forward. When you go so close to the title and then you finish 5th, you psychologically for everyone, you feel like you're going backwards. You know, unfortunately, that's the way it is. They come so close last year, and to come 5th is a very disappointing season. You can't hide that. But Brendan will be here next year, but it's vital. Him and the other people involved in signing players have to do a much better job.
Brendan will be here next season. Steven Gerrard will not. The long goodbye continues, and we'll have more reaction here from Anfield when we return.
The greatest player to ever play for Liverpool.
He's the closest thing you come to an actual superhero.
One of the greatest players of his generation.
You're not going to ever replace him.
I've never seen anybody as good as him.
Thank you, Steven Gerrard.
Thank you, Steven Gerrard.
And the farewell continues here at Anfield. Group shot on this grass, of which Steven Gerrard has covered every single inch over the last 16 and a half years. There has been a bit of talk, Jamie Carragher, about this return this week. Whether in the coaching staff, someone suggested a loan might be possible. In your heart of hearts, what do you think is possible and feasible?
I hope he doesn't come back on loan. I think he mentioned that. I don't think he'll be right. I think, you know, he's finished he's got a game next week, but he's finished at Anfield today. I think that's right. Make a clean break from the football side of it. Go away for a couple of years. Have that break. Get out of that bubble that he's been in. You know, always around Liverpool, living here. the club can sometimes take over your thinking in your life, and it does, to be honest, when you're a player here. And I think it'd be good for him mentally to just move away, have a break, think about something else, away with his family. And if he comes back in some role, whatever it may be, you come back refreshed, full of energy, ready to go, rearing to go, but certainly not in a playing capacity. But that's up to the club if they wanted to bring him back in some role.
Do you think he'll be relishing his new adventure in California?
Yeah, to a certain extent. He got to uproot the family. I think he'll be the style of football. I think will suit him. It's a great place to live, LA. The sun's going to be shining. But listen, at some stage your career comes to an end. The other interesting one, will he become the manager here one day? I hope not, because one thing for sure, he's a hero here. If he comes back as manager, he's going to get the sack one day. And all that legendary status soon goes out the window.
You on the telly.
God, you'll be murdered, you will, picking out all his mistakes.
That's a good place to finish it, boys. You can see he is relishing every moment. He doesn't really want to leave. He doesn't want to say goodbye. At some point, he's going to have to. And, of course, he does have Stoke away next week and a chance to do that. But from us here at Anfield, a reminder that Game of the Day follows next. QPR taking on Newcastle. You can see it in its entirety on Sky Sports 1. Because Steven Gerrard is off to Hollywood. They might make a film about this guy. Because I tell you what, LA Galaxy's his next destination, but in the eyes of Liverpool fans, he is the best on the planet.
When you through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark.
Gerrard, oh, it's a wonderful run!
At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on,
Gerrard! You beauty! What a head, son! What a head! He can hit them from here! Oh, how can he hit them? Vintage Steven Gerrard!